So you don't want to be reactive, you don't want to be combative, you want to be prepared, you want to pick your moments, and when you speak, you need people to listen. Speaking up for yourself in a meeting, not for your team or not because of a project, but for yourself. Does that sentence make you feel a little uncomfortable? And if it does, fine. Let's talk about some ways to make it a bit better. One thing that blows my mind is that leaders who are running teams or managing budgets and they're responsible for real outcomes, all of them will fight for their team members in a heartbeat. But they might struggle when it comes to standing up for themselves in a meeting. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is easy because it's not, especially when you're newer to a leadership role or you're newer to an organization. You've probably already done this before and you probably have an experience where you've been really burned because you spoke your mind. There is a real tension that leaders feel between being collaborative and being assertive, being a team player and holding your ground. And that tension is legitimate. I'm not dismissing that. That is a real thing. But here is what I have learned. Leaders who navigate that tension don't do it by staying quiet. They do it by being strategic about what they speak up about. So you don't want to be reactive. You don't want to be combative. You want to be prepared. You want to pick your moments. And when you speak, you need people to listen. All right, practical time. Here are 3 things to try in your next meeting. Number 1, name your contribution before the room does. Don't wait for someone else to introduce your idea or your work. If you've got something relevant to add, anchor it early. Say something as simple or something like, I've been thinking about this problem and I want to share it from a different angle. That's it. You're not being arrogant, you're being present. Number 2, recover your point if it gets talked over. Now, this happens constantly, especially in fast-moving meetings. Someone interrupts, the conversation moves on, or your idea kind of just flutters off and disappears. So instead of letting it go, come back to it and say, I really want to return to what I was saying before because I think it's really relevant to where we just landed. You want to say that being calm, direct, and notice no apology. Number 3, disagree, but don't have to dismantle other people. So speaking up doesn't always mean pushing an idea. Sometimes it means pushing back on one, and you can do that with full respect of the room. So try something like, oh, interesting, I see it differently, and I think it's worth spending a minute or 2 as to why. So you're not being aggressive, you're adding in a contribution as a leader. Every time you hold back something true, if it's a concern, a perspective, a boundary, you are making a little bit of a decision, a deposit in a very expensive account. One day that account is going to come due in resentment, in burnout, in feeling invisible in spaces, but you've earned the right to be in those rooms. You've worked hard where you are. You have a perspective, and you have something that you're trying to contribute within that organization. So the next time you feel that pull to stay quiet, to wait for a better moment, or to shrink, I want you to remember, your voice is part of your leadership, so use it.